Okay guys, so we just went through on how to make the tomato basil. I'm going to be showing you another one of our signature pastas, which is the shrimp pesto penne. It's a very flavorful, delicious, you can have anytime pasta. The ingredients that you will need for it would be shrimp. I like to use about a 21-25, which is considered a large or an extra large size prawn, peeled and deveined. You're going to need some fresh minced garlic, roughly about 1 Roma tomato, rough chopped or diced, rough chopped parsley, some fresh shaved Parmesan, butter. I always like to go with salted, and then I have a homemade pesto. You can use whatever pesto, it's your preference, whatever you find at your local store. If you're feeling brave enough to make your own, this is just an all herb pesto, which contains fresh oregano, fresh parsley, fresh basil, lots of garlic, a little bit of red onion and olive oil, a little bit of salt. That's it. You can use whatever penne pasta you desire. If you are gluten free, you can find gluten free options at the store. We're gonna just go with our plain regular penne, but this is pretty much a clean canvas. You can go crazy with if you want to use raviolis or angel hair pasta. It's up to you. Other than that, we're gonna be using our fresh extra virgin olive oil, sea salt, fresh ground black pepper, and some heavy whipping cream. Okay, so to get started, we're gonna do the same process we did with our tomato basil. We're gonna get our skillet nice and hot. We're gonna hit it with a little bit of olive oil. I think that's about a tablespoon, maybe even less if you want to go a little lighter on it, but you can never go wrong with the olive oil. So I'm gonna let that get nice and hot, and like I said with our previous pasta, the tomato basil, the garlic and the tomato, it's all preference. I'm just kind of showing you guys how we do it here for when you come and dine in with us. I love garlic, so we're gonna go a little bit heavier with it. It's about I would say about a teaspoon and a half of garlic. Gonna go ahead and hit it with our garlic. Just play with it, saute it a little bit, get a little fragrance on there. Fragrance. Then we're gonna go with our tomato, 1 Roma tomato, rough chop. We're gonna dump it in there, and gonna just let it get a nice little simmer. Again, like I said with our tomato basil, if you don't feel comfortable doing this saute action, you're just gonna grab your favorite spoon and just make sure your garlic doesn't stick to your pan. Okay? You overcook your garlic or you let it cook too much, it just becomes sour. So we're just making sure we do this nice. Once I'm there, I'm gonna go ahead and drop in my prawns. Normally, some people like to take off their tails. I like to leave them on, just for presentation and nice flavor. So we're gonna do enough for 2 servings. That way you can have some leftovers, or you can share with your better half. Once you're here, we're gonna do our salt and pepper. I'm gonna change my glove. So this has been on fire for about a minute and a half already. Once we get here, we start to get a little bit of that orange, kind of reddish color on your shrimp. You can go ahead and do your salt and pepper, okay? So we're gonna just salt it over the top. A little bit of ground black pepper. And then we're gonna do another little turns on it, okay? So once we're here, I don't like to overcook the shrimp too much. It's gonna start shrinking up on you and getting a little kind of rough on you. So as soon as you start to get this color right here, where you start to get some orange around your tails, you start to get your little nice striping on there, we're gonna go ahead and add our heavy cream. So we'll add our heavy cream, and this is gonna be, I would say roughly about a quarter cup. If you want it a little bit extra saucier, you can try to go about a third, you know, but we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna add about 3 cubes of your favorite butter. I like to use salted, so we're gonna just go and add our cubes in there. And your butter will help solidify your sauce. It's pretty much gonna be the base of your sauce. That and the heavy cream, once you break it down a little bit, it'll give you a nice thick sauce, okay? So once we got this, guys, You don't have to wait for your butter to melt. I'm just gonna give it a nice little stir. And then we're gonna add our pesto. Again, this is by choice. I'm probably gonna use about a 1/4 cup of pesto, maybe a little less, but it's up to you. If you want to have it nice and pesto-y, nice and green, that's what we're gonna use, okay? So again, here we're just gonna use our spoon because it is a little saucy still. So we're just gonna incorporate the pesto into our sauce. You see your butter already melting into your sauce. Once we've done that, we're just gonna let it reduce. You know, it should be about 2 minutes of just letting it reduce on you, okay? So now just gonna play with it a little bit, sure it incorporates, and then we're gonna get our penne pasta ready now. So again, I'm gonna make a portion and a half, which in Wally's terms equals about 2 servings. It should make for a nice dish where you can share with your loved one or have leftovers for tomorrow. And just so you know what a serving is, this is 10 ounces of pre-portioned penne. So I'm gonna use about 15 ounces. You can go with a pound, you should be fine. And this pasta has been pre-cooked, so it's al dente. I boiled it for about 7 minutes with a little bit of olive oil and salt. It should be ready to go. We're just gonna drop for another 30 seconds, okay? Yeah, this one's a little bit trickier because when you try to do the saute, it's still very saucy, so it'll come back at you, so you can go ahead and use your spoon. I even use the spoon for this one because I don't end up all over my shirt. So see how we started to get this nice simmer around the edges? You want to have the same consistency in the center, so we're almost there. We got about another minute, okay? If you feel that your sauce is too weak or too soft, you can always come back and drop another cube of butter. That will help solidify it a little bit faster, okay? So now we're gonna pull up our pesto, our penne. Still a little bit soupy. I think we could have done a little bit less heavy cream, but like I said, you could always reduce, okay? We're reducing now. So once you get about this right here, guys, where we got bubbles in the center, you see your edges just started to get that thick sauce look around the edges when you do this. It's nice and saucy now. It's not as runny as it was before. We're gonna go ahead and drop our penne in there. Now let's give it a nice little twirl like this. That's beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and use a spoon for this one. And I'm gonna try to get some penne in there on the bottom so I end up with the shrimp on top for presentation. Yes. Get the shrimp in there. Scoop them out. There you go, guys. The garnish for this, it's a little bit of shaved Parmesan right down the center. And fresh parsley. I don't like using basil on this, but if you are feeling crazy, you can go ahead and add some basil to it, but just a little bit of parsley for color and garnish. And there you go. Wally's shrimp penne at your house.